reach for your phone. You check your bank account. And everything is gone. Not because your password was hacked. Not because someone broke into your house. Not because your phone was stolen. Just one message. One official-looking notification. One small request to confirm or verify. And in minutes, your life savings disappear. Across Africa, this is no longer a rare story. It is happening to teachers, to small business owners, to parents, to students, to people who thought they were being careful. Today, we are exposing a silent digital predator, a new generation of PayPal and payment scams that don't break into your account. They convince you to open the door yourself. This is not just cybercrime. This is psychological warfare, and thousands of African families are paying the price. Why this matters? Facts and statistics. This is not just your imagination. The numbers confirm it. Global reality. 1. Global online payment fraud is projected to exceed $362 billion between 2023 and 2028, according to Juniper Research. 2. Authorized push payment scams, where victims are tricked into sending money themselves, are now the fastest growing type of financial fraud worldwide. 3. ACI worldwide projects APP scam. Losses will reach $7.6 billion USD by 2028. These scams work because they don't look like crime. They look like customer service. They look like PayPal. They look like your bank. They look like help. Kenya and Africa, the hidden emergency. 1. In Kenya alone, cybercrime losses reached 29.9 billion Kenyan shillings, almost equal to $230 million in 2025. 2. Across Africa, total cybercrime losses are estimated at over 650 billion Kenyan shillings, almost equal to $5 billion. That is money taken from school fees, from rent, from hospital bills, from small businesses, from families already struggling. Why Africa is being targeted? 1. Africa recorded a 167% increase in fraud attempts, the highest regional increase globally. 2. 81% of Kenyan consumers report being targeted by digital fraud attempts. 3. Many victims never report, out of shame, fear, or not knowing where to go. Criminal networks know this. They exploit trust. They exploit urgency. They exploit hope. This is why this investigation matters. Not to scare you, but to protect you. Not to shame victims, but to expose criminals. Because behind every statistic is a real person, a real family, a real future stolen. Why this scam is different and more dangerous than you think. PayPal operates in over 200 countries and regions, processing trillions of dollars in transactions every year. It connects banks, cards, businesses, families, and entire livelihoods. That global trust is exactly what criminals are exploiting. According to international financial regulators, the fastest growing form of digital fraud today is not hacking, it's manipulation. This is known as Authorized Push Payment, APP, fraud. In APP fraud, victims are not hacked. They are deceived into authorizing the payment themselves. That's what makes this scam so dangerous. Unlike traditional cybercrime, this scam doesn't break in through the back door. It walks through the front door. With your permission. Victims often don't realize they are being robbed because the system shows the transfer as legitimate. The victim clicked. The victim approved. The victim sent the money. But the decision was engineered. This is not a technology failure. This is a human manipulation operation. Global data confirms this shift. 1. The UK's financial regulator reports that APP fraud now accounts for over 40% of all reported payment fraud losses in some banking systems. 2. The US FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3, reports billions of dollars lost annually to social engineering scams, with payment and impersonation fraud among the fastest growing categories. 3. Interpol and Europol warn that cross-border Digital payment scams are increasing in developing and emerging markets, where digital adoption is rising faster than public awareness. Scammers are no longer just stealing passwords. They are stealing trust. They impersonate brands. They copy official emails. They clone PayPal layouts. They create fake alerts that look real, not to criminals, but to what looks like PayPal itself. This is not hacking. It's manipulation. And that's what makes it so powerful. Because once trust is triggered, logic shuts down. Fear takes over. Urgency takes over. And in that moment, even smart people make costly decisions. This is why educated professionals, small business owners, students, and families are all being caught in the same trap. Not because they are careless, but because scammers now understand human psychology better than most security systems. How the scam actually works. Let's break it down. Step 1. The trigger. The victim receives a PayPal security alert, a fake invoice, a refund confirmation, or a warning. Unusual activity detected. The message creates urgency and fear. Step 2. The hook. The victim is told to click a link, call a support number, or secure their account immediately. Everything looks official. Step 3. The takeover. Victims are guided to a fake PayPal login page or a scam support agent, sometimes asked to install screen sharing software. Without realizing it, they hand over access. Step 4. The drain. Once inside, scammers link bank accounts, initiate authorized transfers, move money instantly. By the time the victim checks their bank, the money is already gone. Real stories, real pain. This is where the scam becomes personal. A small business owner, a student, a mother sending money to family, a retiree protecting savings. I trusted PayPal. I thought my bank would protect me. But when victims report the loss, many hear the same response. The transaction was authorized. Authorized. Because the scam forced consent through deception. No force. No break-in. No alarms. Just silence. And shame. Story 1. Small business owner. Meet James. Like thousands of young entrepreneurs in Nairobi, James built his business online. Every sale, every payment, every hope for growth, all flowing through PayPal. One morning, while opening his shop, his phone buzzed. Your PayPal account has been limited due to unusual activity. Please verify immediately. The message looked real. It had the PayPal logo. The language was professional. The link looked official. James didn't hesitate. He clicked. He logged in. He followed the steps, thinking he was protecting his business. But what he didn't know, someone else was watching. Within hours, money began leaving his linked bank account. Small amounts at first, then larger ones. By the time James realized something was wrong, tens of thousands of shillings were gone. His rent money, his supplier payments, his children's school fees. When he contacted PayPal support, he was told something that broke him. The transactions were authorized. To the system, it looked like James did it himself. But James was never hacked. He was manipulated. And his business never fully recovered. Story 2. West Africa, university student. She was a university student, living on a tight budget, counting every dollar, depending on small online payments and family support to survive. One afternoon, she received a message. You are eligible for a PayPal refund. Please confirm your account to receive your money. A refund sounded like a blessing. She thought, maybe it's money I forgot about. Maybe it's help I really need. She clicked. She logged in. Seconds later, her screen refreshed. And her balance started dropping. She watched it happen. In real time. Money leaving. One transaction. Then another. Panic. Fear. Tears. She tried to stop it. But it was already too late. When she reported it, she heard the same words James heard. The transaction was authorized. To the system, it looked normal. But to her, it was her food money, Her rent, her semester fees, gone. Not because she was careless, but because someone knew exactly how to trick her trust. How the scam really works. So how does this actually happen? Cybersecurity experts say most modern financial fraud does not begin with hacking systems. It begins with hacking human behavior. According to global cybersecurity and banking regulators, social engineering scams, where victims are tricked into authorizing transactions themselves, are now one of the fastest growing forms of digital crime worldwide. Here's how this fraud typically works. Step 1. The perfect fake. The victim receives a message, an email, an SMS, a WhatsApp link. These messages often use real company logos, official-sounding language, and spoofed sender IDs. Cybercrime monitoring groups report that these fake messages are now almost indistinguishable from real company communications. Step 2. Urgency and fear. The message creates pressure. Unusual activity detected. Your account will be limited. Immediate action required. Behavioral fraud researchers say urgency is one of the most effective psychological weapons used by scammers because it bypasses rational thinking. Step 3. The fake login page. Victims are sent to a cloned website. These fake pages are designed to look identical to real PayPal, banking or e-wallet platforms. The moment credentials are entered, they are captured in real time by criminal networks. Step 4. Authorized push payment fraud. Once inside the real account, scammers add new bank accounts, change security settings, transfer funds out. This type of crime is known globally as authorized push payment, APP, fraud. Financial regulators in Europe, North America, and Asia have officially classified APP fraud as one of the fastest growing digital financial crimes in the world because the victim technically authorized access, even unknowingly. Many banks and platforms record the activity as legitimate. That is why victims are often told the transaction was authorized. Not because it was fair, but because the system was manipulated. Why Africa is especially at risk. Africa is one of the fastest growing digital payment markets in the world, according to global development banks and financial technology reports. Millions of new users are joining online financial platforms every year across Africa. This rapid growth creates opportunity, but it also creates vulnerability. International policing agencies and cybersecurity firms report that 1. Many new users have limited exposure to digital fraud education. 2. Cross-border enforcement is complex and slow. 3. Recovery of stolen digital funds are extremely difficult. 4. Many scam networks operate across multiple countries. This makes Africa highly attractive to organized scam groups. Not because Africans are careless, but because criminals see African markets as high growth, high value, and harder to police. The result is devastating. Small businesses collapse. Students lose tuition. Families lose rent and medical money. These are not just statistics. These are lives. Reality check. Common PayPal and online payment scams. According to cybersecurity, threat intelligence firms and consumer protection agencies, the most common scams linked to online payment platforms include 1. Fake PayPal security alerts. 2. Refund and reversal scams. 3. Phishing and spoofed login links. 4. Fake online stores. 5. Fake investment and crypto opportunities. Different disguises. Same criminal strategy. Pressure. Deception. Speed. How to protect yourself. Evidence-based safety practices. These are the practices recommended by cybersecurity professionals and consumer protection agencies worldwide. 1. Never click financial links in messages, even if they look official. Always open PayPal or your bank through the official app or website you type yourself. 2. Enable two-factor authentication on all accounts. Security analysts confirm this blocks a large percentage of account takeover attempts. 3. Never share one-time passcodes. No legitimate company will ever ask for them. Anyone who does is committing fraud. 4. Activate transaction and login alerts. Real-time alerts give you the fastest chance to stop unauthorized activity. 5. Monitor accounts daily. Financial fraud investigators confirm that speed is critical. The sooner fraud is detected, the higher the chance of limiting losses. In digital fraud, minutes matter. One pause, one extra moment of verification can mean the difference between safety and financial ruin. Case 3, survivor, Sub-Saharan Africa. She almost became another statistic. The message looked real. The warning sounded urgent. But this time, she paused. Instead of clicking the link, she opened the official app. What she saw shocked her. An unfamiliar login attempt. A new device. Activity she did not recognize. She locked her account immediately, changed her passwords, contacted her bank. That single pause saved her life savings. Not because she was lucky, but because she stopped and verified. This is what digital safety looks like. Not fear. Awareness. If you are already a victim, what to do immediately. If this has already happened to you, experts say time is critical. These steps can limit damage and preserve your chances of recovery. 1. Change all passwords immediately. Email, PayPal, bank accounts, any linked services. 2. Contact your bank first. Ask for transaction blocking and fraud investigation. Speed matters. 3. Report the fraud to PayPal or the affected platform. Official reports create a record that may support recovery. 4. File a fraud report with local authorities or cybercrime units. This helps investigations and protects others. 5. Preserve all evidence. Messages, emails, screenshots, transaction records. Fraud investigators agree on one thing. Silence protects criminals. Reporting protects communities. What we've uncovered today is simple and sobering. Modern scams don't break into your accounts. They convince you to unlock them yourself. Technology was created to make life easier. But when awareness does not keep up with innovation, convenience becomes vulnerability. This is not just a PayPal story. This is a digital age story. A story about how trust is being weaponized. If this could happen to James, if this could happen to a student, it can happen to anyone. That is why staying informed is no longer optional. It is protection. Stay alert. Stay informed. Stay fraud-proof. Because today, the most dangerous theft is not always violent. It is silent. And it often happens while people are simply trying to live their lives. Across Africa, families are losing savings. Small businesses are collapsing. Students are abandoning dreams. Not because they were careless, but because criminals understood human trust better than technology. These are not just financial crimes. They are life crimes. Fraud-Proof Africa exists for one reason: to expose the scams, to protect families, to verify the facts, to tell the stories scammers don't want told. This channel is not sponsored by banks, not funded by payment platforms, not influenced by corporations. Our only loyalty is to the people who are affected. We investigate. We verify. We educate. Because in today's digital economy, knowledge is not just power. Knowledge is protection. Awareness is not just information. Awareness is defense. If this story helped you even a little, share it. Because in today's digital world, silence protects criminals, but knowledge protects communities. Fraud-Proof Africa is more than a channel. It is a growing movement dedicated to 1. Exposing digital and financial scams. 2. Educating African communities. 3. Protecting families, businesses, and livelihoods. 4. Turning victims into survivors. 5. And survivors into informed citizens. Because in today's world, being informed is no longer enough. You must be fraud-proof.